Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel today. My name is Christian and today we're here to talk about a seminal record of the mid-2000s. It is by Rise Against. It is called The Sufferer and The Witness, and this week it turns 10 years old. Now last week I reviewed Billy Talent 2, another record that turns 10 years old, and I've really enjoyed going back and listening to records from 10 years ago and just hearing how great music was back then. Not saying that music isn't great now, because this year particularly has been one of the best years for rock music in the last decade. And The Sufferer and The Witness, man, it is one of the records that pulled me into rock music. The first song I heard from this band was Under the Knife. It's still my favorite from this record. And this record overall, as I said, was one of the records that really made me pay attention to rock music and really start to listen to music that really grabbed me instead of just having music on in the background. It really honestly made me want to be a musician. And so this record is very important to me, and let's dive into this thing. This record is incredible. It grabs you instantly. It never lets go for the whole 14 tracks. That is the version I'm reviewing this time. I'm not reviewing the 20-track edition, the deluxe edition, just because most of them are all live tracks anyway. And I felt like going back and just listening to the record, how it came out. That's how I prefer to listen to records. And this album is front to back just slammed with brilliant, brilliant songs. There isn't a weak moment on this record. There are the anthems like Ready to Fall and Chamber of the Cartridge. And then there are the softer songs like Roadside that just... There's so much variety within a punk record, which is something that hadn't really been experimented with a lot at that time. And you can see what this record has done for records now. Just added a lot of variety and melody and just a lot to punk music that I hadn't heard before, and that I think really shaped what happened over the last 10 years. This album made Rise Against the band they are today. They are now huge. I saw them supporting the Foo Fighters in stadiums last year. I saw them play arenas by themselves on the Endgame tour, and they're just one of the biggest bands in the world right now, and this record wholeheartedly started them on that path, and every record that followed this one was definitely a variation on a theme of this record. And this was the record that they really realized what they were good at and solidified it into the perfect record. And this is still, to me, their best record they've ever done. Rise Against purists may say it was something from further back, or maybe even say that it was Endgame or Black Market or any of those albums. But for me, this record is just front to back incredible, the best record they've ever done, one of the best rock records of the past 10 years, as I said. There are so many anthems on this record. Songs like Prayer for the Refugee, Chamber of the Cartridge, Ready to Fall, Survive, and then once again my favorite, Under the Knife. There are just so many anthems. You'll be singing this record for days. Just please go back and listen to this record. You'll remember how great it really is. And once again, as I said, it's a punk rock album. I don't know what it was with the mid-2000s, but with bands like Billy Talent and Rise Against, punk was making a massive comeback. And now you see nowadays with bands like Creeper, that punk aesthetic is still going on and is going strong. And I think Rise Against reinvigorating the punk scene when they did, I think that led to punk being just as healthy as it is right now. This album has so much going for it, and it's all centered with Tim's melody and his lyric writing. There's so much poetic lyricism throughout this record. They focus on a lot of political issues, something that punk bands are really known for, but they really go for the throat and say exactly what they feel without caring what anybody really thinks of them. They just want to get their opinions out there and their thoughts on the state of the world at that time. And they do it in a really well written way. And Tim's lyric writing has always been great, and it's absolutely no different on this record. But there are amazing performances from the entire band. Drumming is absolutely incredible. The bass playing is great. The guitar playing is incredible. But it's all centered around that Tim vocal, which is just so signature. And as soon as his voice comes in, you know who it is. And as I've said before, it's amazing to find a vocalist that has that. And he has such a signature voice that is so rare to have. And it really shines on this record. This is an absolutely incredible record. It's a absolute 10 out of 10. You absolutely have to check it out. And it is essential listening for any rock fan. If you like punk rock, if you like pop punk, if you like metal, this album is really for everyone, and you should definitely go check it out. It's 10 years old today. Such a great record. Thanks for watching my video today. Please hit subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time. Fresh Currents.